Alan, Harold and the Purple Crayon is in theaters. It's based on the beloved series of children's books. I have seen the trailer more times than I care to count. I have absolutely no interest in this movie. Can you change my mind? And by the way, it was playing last night at the AMC Burbank 16. At the screening I popped my head into, there was one person in the theater. Now, this was an evening screening. This is a kid's film. Alan, tell us the story. No spoilers. Tell us the story, and what did you think of Harold and the Purple Crayon?
All right. So if you are a fan of Harold and the Purple Crayon, all your friends are back in this movie. There's Harold, there's Moose, there's Porcupine, and the movie opens with a nice animated treatment of the Harold books. And then there's the disembodied voice, the old man played by Alfred Molina. And at the end of the story, it ends the end. And now adult Harold in the book is wondering what's next. And apparently the old man just kind of disappears. And Harold wants to meet the old man in the real world because he lives in the real world. So he takes his crayon, draws a door, and that becomes a portal to the real world where Harold jumps through. And of course, he's followed by Moose and Porcupine, who miraculously turns human when they enter the portal there. Let's see. I'll just get the names real quick. Lil Ray Howie plays Moose, and Tanya Reynolds plays Porcupine. And so they're in the real world, and weirdly, Zach Levi plays this kind of man-child who experiences the world with brand new eyes. I don't know how he does it, how he's able to do it every time in every movie he's in, but he does that here. And he's looking for the old man in the real world. Along the way, he meets with Terry, played by Zooey Deschanel, and her son, Mel, played by Benjamin Bocani. And they become friends. Terry has problems with these two strange men befriending her son. But with that magic crayon, they're able to solve these problems. Meanwhile, there is Jermaine Clement, who plays Gary, the evil librarian, who wants to grab that crayon and create the world that he created in his fantasy fiction. And can Harold find the old man? Will Gary stop them? Will Gary use the crayon for bad? Go see Harold and the Purple Crayon to find out.
What is I saw the trailer. What's the tone of the movie? Is it just goofy? Like,
yeah, this is decidedly a kid's film. I'll say
not a kid. It's not a kid's film that works for adults.
Marginally. I mean,
like, I have no interest.
The word
you have not convinced me. You have not convinced me.
Okay, the word nipples is said in the movie.
A little interested.
Okay, Jermaine Clement plays Jermaine Clement. If he's the evil guy. He tones it down a bit for kids, but he's there. Let's see. Unlike you, my theater was there was a full row of children, and thankfully, not a peep out of them, so I could concentrate on watching the movie. And I think that's kind of the tone set with this one. It tries to be a kids movie. It tries to be endearing. Adult. I mean, dear God. Midway through, about 20 minutes in, I'm like, I really want this movie to end. Bored out of my mind. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Look, there was a guy sitting a couple seats down from me. He was busting up, but he was the only one busting up, not the kids.
More importantly, how did the kids react who were watching the film?
Like I said, I didn't hear a peep out of them. I heard one laugh.
Were they on their phones?
No, these are kids. These are under 10. These are 10 and under. And there must have been at least 7 of them. And they were rambunctious before the movie started. And they were definitely quiet when the movie was playing. Look, here's the problem. Like the book, this is an extension of the book.
Okay.
Like the book, the whole idea is imagination, using your imagination to not only solve problems but to inspire yourself as to what you want to be in the future. And that theme carries itself in the main story, except you don't really pick up on that until the very end when they talk about it. Because what Harold does essentially in the movie is, when faced with a problem, he pulls out the crayon, draws something to get out of that problem. There's also a bit of silliness and slapstick that goes on. There's a point where Terry works at kind of a Big Lots type store, and she needs to deal with Mel's potential expulsion from school. Long story short. And so Harold and Moose are tasked to take her part, or take her place at the store, and then all mayhem ensues.
Look, I could tell from the trailer I would not like this film.
Yeah, I don't.
And,
I did.
Every time I saw the trailer, it was like, I'm gonna head to the bathroom. I'm good.
So my point there is the stakes are very low in this. There are not a lot of stakes. The other thing is, I had problems with why make Harold an adult? I mean, I think if you had kept Harold kind of a younger child or an older child, this movie would probably be more endearing than it was. And the other thing is, why do you make Moose and Porcupine human? Why do you turn them human? It would have, there are decisions made in telling the story that just that lessens its impact. Just the fact that you have 3 adults starring in this movie, I don't know how that endears itself to children. I think kids want to see themselves holding that crayon, doing these things, and that's how you make the connection with it. And they didn't do it here. I do like the fact that they did play around with the logic of, if you create something with a crayon, does it disappear? How do you get rid of it? Because they create some pretty horrifying monsters in this one. They kind of explain that. But overall, I think this is for me, it was a miss. For adults, it's a miss. And I think for children, it'll be just one of those other movies that's thrown up on the shelf as parents are looking for ways to pacify their children. Yeah, they'll probably grab this one at one point, but there's nothing remarkable about it.
This will be the movie that parents put on the TV and walk away.
Yeah.
And kids half pay attention to.
Yeah.
I
think they'll half pay attention to this. I mean, look, it's safe. It's not woke. That's the good thing. Yeah. So there you go.
Let's go. So do you recommend it?
No.
Okay.